friends, how are you? How are you really? Because it has been a rough couple of months. And if you're anything like me, I have been really struggling with my emotions, with stress levels. It's been really kind of a roller coaster of emotions of, looking for the positive in this and being grateful for what I do have, to those kind of emotions of despair and anger and just feeling anxious and frustrated and angry and just all of those things, so many things. And it's really hard to kind of keep balanced right now just with all that's going on. So I thought I would share some of the tools that I've been using the last couple of weeks to kind of help reground me, just refocus my emotional energy and just kind of get in touch with my heart and my headspace, because I don't want to be feeling that feeling of overwhelm. It's just not a fun place to live. So as you know, I have been using essential oils for several years, and I started being interested in kind of more holistic health stuff for some physical problems that I was having. And the more I researched about that, the more I began understanding just how powerful essential oils and our sense of smell is for supporting our emotional health as well. So if you think about frankincense, for instance, that's a essential oil that most people have heard about, and it's been around for thousands of years. Churches and synagogues have burned frankincense incense in churches for purifying purposes, and also for just kind of spiritual connection. So that's one instance. Or we think about lavender as being very calming. Like if you look for any calming lotion, it's always lavender scented, right? Or a calming bath bomb or something. It's always lavender scented, because we know the chemical makeup of those plants really has a connection to your brain. And it's because your sense of smell is the only one of your senses that's directly tied to the limbic center of your brain. And that's the part of your brain that processes emotions and stores your memories. So if you think about, the smell of a cinnamon roll baking in the oven, and maybe that triggers a memory of your grandmother or a memory back to a favorite holiday. And the opposite can be true. So maybe the smell of gasoline reminds you of a traumatic car accident or something. So your sense of smell really is tied in so closely with your emotions. So that's how essential oils, just the smell of them, can also trigger the emotional release of any past trauma that your body is storing. So that seems like kind of a weird thing to think about. But I actually did a training, I don't know how many years ago, a few years ago, it was about foster children, because I was volunteering with foster kids at the time. And the training was all about epigenetics. And if you've never looked into that, it's a pretty fascinating field. It's a kind of a newer field of science that studies the link between your emotions and how they are actually physically stored in the DNA of your body. They're stored in your organs until you are ready to process them. And if you don't process those emotions, if you're not able to release them, then they kind of get stuck in your body in certain areas. So if you think about the last time you had a loss or the end of a relationship and you felt that like heartache, you know what I'm talking about, like your heart hurts, right? Or you are anxious about something. Maybe right now you're anxious about life and it's giving you some like tummy upsets. That's like pretty common. Or if you're doing, public speaking or something, that you get those butterflies in your stomach. And that's how we know that your emotions really are tied to different areas of your body. So what I wanted to share with you today were a few oils that I have been using to help really kind of release some of those stuck emotions, if you will, which I know it sounds a little bit hokey, but I promise if you try it, it really does work. And I've been very surprised over the years as I've tried it and kind of went, oh, I don't know, maybe this will work, that you really can feel just kind of the weight of that being lifted off of you. So if you are new to essential oils, these are, I'm going to share 6 essential oil blends that have been specifically blended for releasing different kinds of emotions. I use Young Living essential oils exclusively, and there's several reasons for that, mostly because I really am sold on their purity. I don't believe any other company out there has the seed to seal promise like they do, that they just are number one for integrity and purity with their oils. And they also have like over 35 years of experience and research in researching each individual plant species that the oils come from, how to distill them properly so that it doesn't lose any of their therapeutic value. And they have the most emotional blended oils out of any of the companies, so that's kind of cool too. So yeah, they really have just done their research, and I really just have the utmost respect for them. So if you have maybe like a premium starter kit, I know some people watching probably already have that. There's already some great emotional oils in there. Like I said, lavender is great for just kind of relaxing and calming your mind. Frankincense is a great one for kind of spiritual connection. And it's also very soothing and calming for like anxiety kind of stuff. Let's see, Stress Away is in there. That's like one of my favorites that I use on a regular kind of daily basis. Valor, which we're going to talk about tonight, is in there. And Peace and Calming, which is another one. I mean, the name kind of says it also. If you have those, use those. But the ones I'm going to talk about tonight are actually 6 oils that are specifically in a set called the Feelings Kit, and it's a set that Young Living sells together. I actually purchased these oils all like individually over the years, but it's way cheaper if you get it as the set. So the first one in the set is an oil called Valor, and this is probably my very favorite oil. I mean, I have kind of a lot of favorites, but this one really is one of my absolute favorites, and I could probably honestly say that I use this every day. I used it before I started this video, and it's just, so it's a little bit of a woodsy blend, but it also has like kind of sweet undertones, if that makes sense. It's hard to explain a smell until you smell it yourself, but I think it really smells lovely. And so Valor is an oil that, let me read this off for you for a sec. It really helps work with both your physical and spiritual aspects of your body to increase feelings of strength, courage, confidence, and self-esteem in the face of adversity. And it also helps to correct balance and energy alignment. So anytime I'm feeling stressed out or I need like an extra dose of courage, so like I'm doing this video and it makes me a little nervous to do that. If I have to have a hard conversation or get up and speak in front of someone, or just having a difficult day and I just need some strength and some courage to get through the day, Valor is one of my go-tos, and I just really love the smell of it. So it's also known as chiropractor in a bottle, which is kind of a funny thing. So just like the essential oils have a physical aspect to them, that the chemical constituents in each individual oil that's in the blend have properties in them that help your body systems. They also help your emotions. So this one's called Chiropractor in a Bottle because it really helps like align you. And so I put a drop of this like on my neck, either before or after a chiropractic adjustment, and it just helps me stay in alignment a little bit longer. So that's pretty awesome. So the next one that I'll talk about is an oil called Harmony. So Harmony promotes physical and emotional healing by creating a harmonic balance for the energy centers of the body, bringing us into emotional and spiritual harmony with all things, people, and cycles of life. It's beneficial in reducing stress, amplifying your well-being, and dissipating feelings of discord. It's uplifting and elevating scent, and it's beneficial in creating a positive attitude and outlook on life. Can't go wrong with that description, right? Yeah, Harmony smells really nice too. It's a little bit more floral, but not overpowering. So this is a nice one. You could either just diffuse this, or if you're doing the whole feelings kit, so you'd be using the series of 6 oils in sequence, and there's specific areas of the body that you would put them on as like release points. So if you were to get the kit, it comes with instructions, but so Valor you would put on your feet or just smell it, inhale it on your hands. Harmony is one that you would put on your chakra points, which is like, you could either like put it along your spine, or I don't really know all of the chakra points, but it's like below your belly button, above your belly button, heart, throat, and head, I believe. Maybe I'm missing one, but anyway, so you know that all the nerves and sensors that run from your brain throughout your body kind of are all in alignment along your spine, and go to all of the organs and your extremities and stuff. So that's why it's recommended to put Harmony along those energy chakras to help bring harmony to your whole body and mind. So the next one on the list is forgiveness. And I think we could all use a little more of that in the world, right? So you can definitely use any of these oils on their own. You don't have to use all 6 of them in sequence for sure. But it's just kind of a awesome culminating effect if you do use them all together. But forgiveness is an oil blend of combination of Melissa, geranium, frankincense, and some other oils created to help release hurt feelings and negative emotions. It helps release negative memories, allowing you to move past emotional barriers and attain higher awareness, assisting you in forgiveness and letting go. Forgiveness allows the release of harmful memories and promotes a willingness to move forward. So if you need to let it go, forgiveness. And so if you're doing this as part of the feelings kit, you would actually put this one like in your belly button, which seems like kind of a weird place, but if you think about where different emotions are stored, and sometimes when you're just kind of feeling that sense of unforgiveness, I guess, you can kind of like just feel it as a bellyache, or yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure exactly what the reasoning behind that is, but I do also know that using essential oils in your belly button, there's a whole lot of blood supply, because you think of, you were once connected to the blood source at your umbilical cord to your mother, right? So there's a lot of blood flow to your belly button, and also just nerve endings, so it really helps kind of get to your system. So that's a great place to put any oil, really, but forgiveness is a good one to put there. You can also just, if you wanted just to wear it every day, it's a little bit, it's a little lemony actually. It smells really nice. It's not overpowering. So you can put that one on your wrists, or just put it in a diffuser. This one you would, if you're putting it on your skin, you would want to dilute it a little bit with some fractionated coconut oil, or some olive oil or something else like that, because it does have lemongrass in it, and it can be a little bit spicy for your skin by itself. So let's see. The next oil in the kit is an oil called Present Time. And Present Time is an oil that promotes feelings of living in the moment. Very often we can get wrapped up in what has happened, feeling resentful, feeling remorse, feeling all those things, past regrets, or just like trip out on the what ifs of the future, right? That we don't know what's going to happen. So this is a really great oil for just letting the past go and helping you to move forward into the future with an open mind for new possibilities. And this one has a lot of neroli in it, which neroli is orange blossoms actually, which doesn't smell like oranges like you would think. I don't know how to explain it. It smells really nice though. It's a good kind of more of a woodsy scent, I guess, instead of overly floral. But this is one that you can apply to your wrists. Oop. It's a little bit thicker so it doesn't pour out super easily. Or you can just put a drop behind your ears. So I will say, when I go through these oils kind of in an intentional way, I mean, you can use them anytime, diffuse them, put them on daily, and like not overthink it for sure. But if you really are trying to be intentional about doing some emotional work and just kind of like clearing out some of the toxic emotional junk that's going on in your head, I really like to do it at bedtime, just when I have some time and some space to be quiet, be still, and just have some time to reflect in a quiet way. And so lots of times I'll kind of do it in conjunction with prayer actually, and just ask for revelation of what it is that I need to let go of, and then just ask God for the help to let go of those things and to kind of clear out those toxic emotions. You can also write out little like cards or words of affirmation for yourself if there's like a specific thing that you're trying to work on. That I find that's really helpful. And I believe the feelings kit also has some more instruction on that. Like I said, I don't actually have that, so I've only read about that kind of secondhand. But so the next oil in the kit is an oil called Release. And I actually have a bigger bottle of this. The kit only comes with a 5 milliliter, but I need a lot of this, and actually it's kind of running low. So this Release is probably one of the strongest, and I mean strongest as in you might have the biggest reaction emotionally to this oil. Like lots of people will put this on and immediately burst into tears. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's very clear when that happens that you know the oils are working on something on an emotional level. And so if you're going to use this one, I definitely would recommend using it in the evening, so you're not like having this outburst in the middle of the day. And I'm not saying that that's going to happen. That didn't happen to me the first time I used it, but you just don't know kind of what trauma it might bring up for you. So Release is an oil blend that facilitates the ability to release memory trauma, specifically anger and frustration, by helping to open the subconscious mind through the pineal stimulation, which aids in releasing deep-seated trauma. So that's just the area of your brain that holds on to that deep-seated trauma. So this is one of the most powerful of the emotionally supporting essential oil blends. So be sure to use it when you have time to process those emotions that bubble up. Release promotes harmony and balance of the mind and body. So if you're using this as part of the feelings kit, you would actually put this over your liver, and your liver is kind of like lower back on the right side. And the reason for that is your liver, according to like Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, is the organ that stores those toxic emotions of anger and frustration. So if you think about what your liver does in terms of body function, its purpose is to detox your body, right? So it makes sense that it would be the organ responsible for also detoxing those toxic emotions. So yeah, that is a really great oil to have in your arsenal, because I think all of us at some time or another get those feelings of resentment, anger, frustration, and sometimes we don't know how to process those, especially when it's circumstances that are outside of our control, right? We just need to kind of release it, forgive, let it go, be in the present. Okay, and so the last oil in the set is an oil called Inner Child. Inner Child is actually one of my favorite like oils to wear as a perfume. It smells really, it has a lot of orange or maybe tangerine in it, but it's also kind of florally. It's got sandalwood in it and jasmine, which are all really nice. So it makes a really good perfume. But Inner Child was blended to help release childhood trauma. So childhood trauma creates a disconnect from the inner child or the inherent identity, which causes confusion. This fracture of the personality and creates problems that tend to surface in early to mid-adult years, which is what we often label as a midlife crisis. That's when that kind of bubbles over, when you can no longer stuff those feelings, right? And you're trying to find your identity. So this fragrance stimulates memory response and helps one reconnect with your inner self or your identity. And this is the first step to finding emotional balance. So if you're using this as part of the feelings kit regimen, you would actually put a drop just right under your nose where you can smell it. Or you could put a drop in your hands and smell it. It smells really nice, but it goes directly to the limbic system from your brain. When you inhale an oil or a scent, it goes through your olfactory bulb, which is right next to the limbic system of your brain, where those emotions and memories are stored. So it can really help you kind of work out some of those deep-seated inner disconnect with your finding who you are, I guess, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so those are the 6 oils that are in the feelings kit. And yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you today. I was going to say, if you are interested in playing with any of those oils, I would be happy to send you a sample of each of them, and you're welcome to kind of play with them at home. Or if you would like to get the set for yourself, let me know and I can help you get that ordered. Yeah, and so I just really hope that that information can be helpful to you in this really challenging and difficult time that we're going through right now. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I wish you happy emotional health.